Hello, everybody out there. I am your host. I am back. I am Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series we have been bringing you for 9 years. Can you believe it? We're so grateful you've been liking and following and sharing with us all of the things that you love. And I have been so happy and very, very grateful to share all the brilliant guests with all of their tools and knowledge and techniques with you. And today we have some amazing people. We never disappoint. We are always so grateful for the new and amazing guests that we have. Today we have Michelle Davies, and she is an internationally recognized healer for osteopathy. And I had it earlier, osteopathy and vitality coaching. You know, we need all of our vitality. We need to have the best lives ever. And she's dedicated to empowering individuals to unlock their full potential in transformative healing and self-discovery. We really need to know ourselves and love ourselves so that we can be living the best life ever. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Jessica. It's so good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And then we have Donna Starr. So we have the star. I brought the stars with you. She is an executive coach and author, and she helps professionals live that more balanced life. So if you stay tuned with us in this episode, you are going to have self-discovery and transformative healing and just have a balanced life. You're going to live your best life ever. So I am so happy to have both of you here today. All right. So welcome, Donna.
I'm so happy to be here, and you are so inspiring. I love your energy this early in the morning for me.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're going to have Michelle start and give us a bit of your journey and your story and an explanation to the word I couldn't pronounce, and give us a bit of what you have been up to in the world with your passion and your journey.
Thank you. So I practice osteopathy. So you did say it correctly. I've been practicing this discipline. It's an art, it's a science, it's a philosophy. I've been practicing this for 27 years. So I trained as an osteopath in 1997, and it took 4 years. And then I've been in private practice. I treat all ages with my hands. I don't use any machinery. Use my hands only, and I apply my hands to different parts of the body. And I work with children who are 2 days young through to the elderly, probably in their 90s. Wow. And then I use biofrequency AO scan technology, and I've published 2 books. And this is how I can then reach people that can't access my hands in my treatment room.
Oh, okay. So your book is how you support people outside of your physical space. Is that correct? And so what is your physical location so people who want to travel and work with you know?
I am in Worcester, which is in England. So now it's in the afternoon. And I do have patients that fly in from Europe to see me. And if they can't make it, I also use AO scan technology, which is biofrequency music.
Ah,
Like quantum
okay.
physics.
So you can work with people a little bit virtually as well.
Yes, I can work with them remotely.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And so how can they find you and your book, Michelle?
I have 2 books. One of them is called Mental Clarity. And
Yeah.
I have a free gift as well for your listeners today. I have a free PDF copy of my book. And you can
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. You can find this on braincareexpert.com. And then I have another book, which is called Miracle Worker.
Wow.
I have another free gift, actually, which is from another website, which is smartersitting.com. And this
Okay.
is a video to show people how to sit correctly when they're working
Oh,
from home, because
well, I
sitting,
definitely do that.
yeah, our posture is so important for our vitality. So I put together
Mm,
a video to help people understand how they should set up their workstation, like the position of your screen and your keyboard
mhm.
and mouse.
That's wonderful. And I'm traveling right now, so I'm not in my normal location, but I've been standing because I found that my body enjoys, I try to listen, to my body, and it really enjoys standing. And then I also have a walking pad, so sometimes I walk also, but I feel like sitting all day was making me unhappy. So a few years ago, I got the standing desk and I really like, my body seems to like that more. And then the movement made it even better. And I only got that I got it a couple of years out later, but still, I love having the option. So sometimes I walk, sometimes I stand, and I do occasionally sit, but I do like that I can adjust my desk so that you're right, so that I am really sitting up. So it's interesting when you're not in your home location. I've felt a big difference in my body. So, yeah, I think our physical, our mental, and our emotional, our spiritual are so much more connected than people realize.
Oh,
So,
I
Yeah,
would
we
like
live
to add
in four
that there,
quadrants of life, don't we? So we live in the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, the
yeah,
physical. Yeah. So
yeah. So,
we're
give us your website one more time, and I'm going to get Donna to share.
smartersitting.com
Uh-huh.
and braincareexpert.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Donna, you really are tied into something very similar of giving people really the best life they can have so they can perform to their highest level of success and reach all those amazing goals that they're setting for themselves for both business as well as enjoyment and life with family and hobbies and passions. So, talk to us about how that became your focus and energy in the world.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't believe there's any coincidences. So I also wrote a book called Unsuccessfully Successful. But the only reason I bring that up, Michelle, is that I saw an osteopath at the end of my corporate career because I wasn't able to digest standard foods. And
Oh
so
my gosh.
my trainer said, I think you should go see this woman. She's actually like on the first page of my book. So I think it's so wild and so exciting that we're here together. And obviously, she said the polarity in your body is way off. And I left my corporate career finally after 34 years, a year after I saw her. I saw her several times. So I don't believe in coincidences. And I was in corporate for 34 years. I had lots of stuff, limiting beliefs, and all the coaching terms that you want to believe in. Um, Never believing I was enough, which forced me to become a workaholic because I always thought there would be more and more and more. And then when I became a coach on the first day of my coach training program, I had such a breakthrough on day one of my coach training program. And I was like, oh my God, this is the work I'm meant to do. And now I'm expanding that work a little bit more. I've been doing it for 5 years. So I just really fundamentally believe that we as humans make our lives much harder than it has to be.
Yeah.
We have a set of constructs that we believe if we don't work ourselves 100 hours a week, that we're not doing it enough, that if we don't worry, that it must mean we don't care. And those constructs, I think, are so damaging to our physical, spiritual, emotional health, that is why I coach.
Wow. I love it when I listen to people because I learn more. I'm getting some self-awareness just from this, Donna, because, you know, I can't remember the last thing I worried about. And I work very few hours and I don't think twice about it. I spend my time reading and writing and holding babies and just and I'm really just enjoying the moment. And I know that wasn't always the case. Years ago, I was probably quite a worrier with lots more on my mind and pushing and driving myself. I think it's also the season of life I'm in. But lots of work went into myself on that. But wow, I'm so glad you're sharing that with us. Now, tell us, how are you sharing this transformation with your audience and your clients? Are you working with corporate? Are you doing some group coaching? Is it one-on-one? Is it online courses? Is it all the things? Let us know, how are you delivering these great transformations and results for work-life balance?
Yeah. I do all the things. So I have one-on-one, I have a new group program, which I just stripped down, called Moments of Momentum. I do corporate workshops. I plan to write a second book because Michelle has now inspired me to do so. I won't do it on sitting, but maybe because you have cornered that market, which I love. So, and I'm very active, I would say, on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I write a biweekly newsletter. So all the things. So people can go to my website, D-Star Consultants, and check it out. And I'm on Amazon.
Okay, so that's D-Star Consultants.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And
D-Star Consultants.
And the book is called Unsuccessfully Successful. I wrote the book and I was writing my bio, and I wrote Donna Starr. It was going to be Say It Like It Is, which is my brand. I'm sort of a say it like it is type. And then when I was writing my bio with my editor, I wrote Donna Starr was unsuccessfully successful for over 30 years. And that kind of popped to both of us as a better title. Because how many of us have the trappings of success but feel like absolute garbage?
Yeah. I think we've all had our moments for sure. So I love that. Thank you. Okay. Well, with this, we need some tips. So we need some self-discovery and some transformational healing tips. What can you give us, Michelle? How can we have our life be better today than it was yesterday?
There are so many tips I could give. So I'm glad I'm giving the free PDF, because those are daily habits, and there's 10 chapters in the book. So I can maybe not necessarily repeat all of those, so your listeners can access the book instead. I would say the main tip would be to listen to the whispers of your body before they become the screams. Because often we have a little niggle somewhere, or we might have some brain fog, we might have a digestive problem. But if we just stop, take note of what are we feeling, because often that's where the problem is stemming from. And we need to address the root cause. So I would say becoming more aware of your body, listening to it. It's like the amber light on the dashboard of your car engine. If it came on, you would take it to a mechanic, because it would be slightly concerning. And the problem with most of us is that we don't do the same thing with the symptoms in the body. We just think, oh, it will pass, it will go away. But often it doesn't, and it becomes then a chronic issue, and it becomes more complicated and then harder to get rid of. So I would say listen to the whispers of the body.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
I'm living proof of that one.
All right. Well, Donna, you are up. Give us a tip to get some more balance in our lives.
There are so many tips that I could give. And what I would say is give yourself the advice that you would give to a close friend. Give yourself the same advice. So a lot of times I'll have somebody come to me and say, oh, I had the worst day at work. I'm so going to get fired. And then I'll ask them to tell me more. And I will often ask them, if your child came to you and gave you the same scenario, what advice would you give them? And it's never the same thing. It's like, oh, you had a bad day. Everybody has a bad day. Here's some things you can do, but be gentle on yourself. This is just one moment in your life. But we tend to catastrophize when it belongs to us. So give yourself take the same advice that you would give to another human.
Yeah, that's the key right there, because as soon as you said that, my youngest daughter, who's 13, was the lead in her school play. She was Alice, and Alice gives very good advice in Alice in Wonderland, but very seldom follows it. So I love that you said not just give it, but take the advice that you would give others, especially others that you love. And I love that you chose a child, because we're always so much gentler with the child, and we forget to be gently. I think we should be both. We should gently love ourselves. We should also really motivate and encourage ourselves. A little bit like that personal trainer. Maybe not too harshly, but occasionally we have to say, okay, pull up our bootstraps. Let's get it. Let's get our acts together here, and get back on track. So I think we need a balance of that kind of encouragement for ourselves.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay, so now you out there already know the drill. They're new. We'll catch them up. Don't worry. Get typing and start sharing in the comments with us the causes that you care about, the things that light you up and you have passion for. We love to share a cause, and we do this because we're hoping to inspire someone to do something good today. Our show will be the most successful if that happens. If we can just inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent to Michelle or Donna's cause, or spread some awareness to get it to someone who needs it, or the one you put in the comments, wouldn't that be wonderful? But even better is if they just remember there's something that lights them up and they have passion, and they just hadn't had a chance to go find out what that cause needs, and they just go and remember and are inspired to do something good today. Michelle, can you share with us a cause that you care about?
So this is a beautiful part of your show. Thank you for this opportunity, because it's wonderful. I encourage my patients to do an act of kindness every day because
Mm,
it helps our health. So in my heart is an orphanage in El Salvador, and it's called
mm,
I was in El Salvador just last month for my 50th birthday. And before I went to El Salvador, I reached out to 3 orphanages because I knew that I wanted to do something even more memorable for my 50th. And El
mm.
Salvador already was memorable because I've never been that far away, but certainly west. But I wanted to support children. And I reached out to 3 orphanages and I was rejected and dismissed, and I couldn't get access to one. So I arrived on my holiday. Every day, I was asking people, do you have any contact with anybody in an orphanage? And finally, right towards the end of the holiday, I was at a Bitcoin meetup in a park. I happened to treat a 6'5" man on a park bench in the wood
Wow.
because he had migraines and headaches. So he then that night introduced me to this orphanage. I traveled to the orphanage and I treated 29 of the children that day. I laid
Oh,
my
that's
29
wonderful.
of them. They range from the age of 4 through to 21. And it was so beautiful. I have committed every month to sending money. Financially, I will support them.
Yeah.
I will support their health as well. So this is the beginning of my journey with this orphanage. It has begun. I've already sent support, and I will continue to do so. So this is the orphanage called Ramar, and it's in San Salvador, El Salvador. Thank
Well,
you.
that is so beautiful. And I think, and I tell people this, that volunteering your time and actually physically sending money, even if it's a few dollars, tells the universe that you're expanding and you're open. And I believe it opens a channel for you to more, like that infinity sign, to more powerfully flow to receive blessings. Not that you should give just to receive, but it is a natural side effect from the universe that is powerful and beautiful. So giving physical your own hands you laid on them. So that means you will be physically impacted by your giving, and the dollar exchange, that means abundance and resources of all kinds will come your way, and then just the energy of thinking. That's why we do it in the show, beyond all of us, right? The idea is to think beyond what Jessica gets from her podcast or what Michelle or Donna will receive. We're communicating with our actions and words in this time and this energy to do something really, really wonderful. And I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Wow.
Donna.
So I have a couple, but I'm going to focus on California with the wildfires. It's just been so traumatic, and obviously the people end of it, but the animal end of it is devastating. And so I would suggest, and my daughter, both my kids are vegans. I am not. And my daughter fosters and then finally adopted a dog. And so the Humane Society anywhere in California, I think there are just an excess of beloved animals roaming around. And I just think it's heartbreaking on so many levels, but the animals cannot take care of themselves. So Palisades is where, or Altadena is where the fire broke out, but it's ravaged so many other areas. So that is what I would do, and that is what we focus on in my family. So a lot of humane societies everywhere.
Well, I love that we're also sending loving energy out to that part of our country, so that they can heal. So. Yes, well, thank you for that. Now, we don't stop typing. You out there watching, we want to hear about the books that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business. If you're an author of a book, type that too, because when you're kind enough to hit that share button, we're going to spread some awareness about causes. We're going to spread some awareness about books that inspire people. It might be just the book someone needs to hear to help support them in their life today, or they might just need to find your book. And if you share and others do, that might be good for not just you, but for so many people. So thank you for hitting that share button and sharing with us the books that inspire you. I'm a bit of a book fanatic and a knowledge absorber like a sponge. I'm constantly juggling several physical books of different kinds of topics and everything from improving myself personally to just enjoyment. I love historical fiction and things that are funny. And I'm also listening to audiobooks all the time too, and watching video, documentaries, and other things. So, Michelle, give us a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business.
So if I was to choose one, which is really difficult, I know it would be difficult for you as well.
Yeah.
It would be The Untethered Soul by Michael. And a particular chapter within this book. And the chapter is called Contemplating Death. And I
got chills.
Didn't want to read it. And I was putting off reading it. I got to the chapter and I thought, oh no, I've got to read this chapter. And it was the most profound part of the book. Contemplating death is our biggest teacher. And it says that if the angel of death came to you and said, well, I'm ready to take you now, that you would say, but I'm not ready yet. I need another week. But the angel of death would say, but this year alone, I've given you 52 weeks. What have you done with the weeks I've already given you? So that was really significant for me, to live every day as if it's my last, or to live every moment as if it's my last moment, because we do not know when the angel of death is coming. So to live life to the full, be as present as possible, be as grateful as possible, be as kind and as loving and as compassionate as we possibly can every moment.
Well, you know what's wild? I also just had a birthday. And when you said, I'd need another week, I thought I'd need years. And then you said, well, I gave you 52 weeks. And I just turned 52. So I've been given 52 years.
Wow.
So wow. Can you tell us the name of the book and the author's name one more time clearly so we can make sure we get it?
The Untethered Soul, and it's Michael Singer.
Okay. I think I missed that piece before. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you for that. How about you, Donna? What do you got for us?
Well, I love that. And I've actually, Michelle, just to play on that, is that you actually, people say you only live once. And the flip on that is that you only die once, but you get to live every day that you're here. So I love that. Thank you for that recommendation. I have to say that my transition from corporate to coaching 5 years ago, someone had me read, and I know it's a popular book, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. But honestly, that book, I was on my couch, and I'm an avid reader like you, Jessica. I love to read. I love historical fiction. I love to read, period. But that book, I remember being on my couch and saying, oh my God, because Glennon had a lot of things working against her. She, obviously was married and was trying to fix her marriage, and I had ended a relationship. But Untamed by Glennon Doyle really was the transition book I needed to believe in myself and to think about my life differently.
That's funny that I'm glad that you mentioned it because it's one a guest has never brought up and it's one I've never actually heard of. So I think books find us when we need them. And so that's part of why I love sharing them because sometimes people repeat the classics, but that may be the first time that 20-year-old on Instagram or Twitch or wherever we're pushing this information had ever heard about how to win friends and influence people or Napoleon's Hill. Just they'd never heard of these authors, and so when they come into their lives, it's the perfect timing for them. So I love that you shared that book, Donna, because I actually had never heard of it, and I guess it hasn't needed to touch me yet. So
Highly recommend.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Well, we have not just a bunch of movie stars on our show today, but authors as well. So, Michelle, you've mentioned your books before, but let's talk a bit more about your journey to be inspired to write those books. If you have more books coming, and talk to us a bit more about your books again, Michelle.
Thank you. The first book, A Miracle Worker, I published it in 2020. And then the latest book, Mental Clarity, I published that just last year in 2024. The first book contains 75 testimonials that were censored from me in 2016. So this was giving the voice back to the public. And it's very much, both books actually very much are about self-help, taking responsibility, understanding why you're suffering and what you can do about it so that your life is filled with joy, peace, love, and connections. Mental Clarity, I wrote that just last year because I've been treating more patients that are suicidal and self-harming, depression, anxiety, and wanted to get the message out that there is so much that you can do to prevent and to treat these awful, debilitating conditions that people find themselves in, because we can self-heal given the right environment, the right conditions. These books are to educate, empower, and inspire as many people as I possibly can around the world.
I love that. In my youth and in my early years, I endured some trauma. And the first 3 years of marriage to my amazing, amazing husband, I would wake up screaming from nightmares. And I'd been to all kinds of therapy, and after a few years of soaking in healthy, beautiful, miraculous, sparkly, glowing light love from this amazing man, all of that went away. There was so much healing that happened by being surrounded and wrapped in very unselfish, kind, and gentle love. So I really do believe that we can self-heal. And I think that we're here for one another. That's the point. People are the point. People matter most, and of course you need to get therapy, get help, get whoever professional you need for the modality of healing you need to experience. And I did explore much of that, but the final kind of, stepping into feeling truly healed was experiencing magnificent love from another human, So I think that's beautiful, Michelle. Thank you. Donna, talk to us about your book.
Well, the interesting thing about my book is that I wrote every other week after I became a coach because my coach said, you should write. And I was like, I don't know how to write. And now I'm a writer. I just will say it.
Mhm.
But it really is a memoir about how I came to be, where I came up with my not enoughness, because we all bring our childhoods into our relationships and our work and just our life. And my dad
Mhm.
was actively dying during the writing of the book. So I wrote a little bit about grief, about some
Mhm.
childhood trauma that I had, and just my growth.
Mhm.
At the end of my book, I left my 22-year relationship, which was very loving and very nurturing, but wasn't the right relationship for me. So it just
Mhm.
shows my journey, and it really it helped heal me,
Mhm.
because there are some things I sent it to my brothers in advance. I have two older brothers, and I love them, love them, love them. And my middle brother said, "I wish I knew." And
Yeah.
so it was sort of my opportunity to talk about my truth, because we all have the truths that we don't always share with the world. And it
Mhm.
was an act of bravery, and I was scared to death not to write it, but to publish it. And I'm just so glad that I did. So I think there are a lot of tips in there about working in corporate, but there's more than that. Grieving, I
Mhm.
think, is something we all collectively do in our own ways. I think about California right now, and there's a collective grief going
Mhm.
on in California
Yeah.
during COVID. So just the ways to handle that, I think, not
Mhm.
anything I would have anticipated. But the
Mhm.
central message of being unsuccessfully successful is you have a right to live the life that you want.
Yeah. Well, and I hope everyone chooses to. Everything starts with a choice.
Everything.
We can choose joy in all things. I meditate and pray, and I'm very spiritual. And I don't often talk about God on my show, but as a child, one of the things I've anchored my life statement to or connection with is I remember being flabbergasted when I read in the Bible about the disciples who were in prison and feeling joy. They chose joy in that moment. And that has been, so it says, as a younger child, I read that and I thought, oh, I didn't know I could choose joy. And so I have spent my life facing many challenges and heartache, but then you have your moment, you have your short your violin, and then your violin moment, and then I take a deep breath and take a look and say, okay, this is where I am. I'm going to choose joy. And how can I step forward in joy to heal or move, or what action can I control that will be positive in this situation? And that has given me the gift of the best life, really. I think in so many things. So, Donna, I love that. Michelle, it has been so beautiful to have you on our show today. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Very much so. I love also being with Donna as well. It's
I
been
love
just
being with you. And Jessica, you're ethereal light. That's what I would call it.
Oh, thank you. Um, Michelle, is there anything else about you or your company that you didn't get to share before we move along a little more?
I would just say I resonate with what you were just saying, that because
Mm.
the founder of osteopathy from 1874 said that the father is, so God is the father of osteopathy. Osteopathy is the child of God. And
Mm.
we all have an ability to heal ourselves. We are born that way. We have an innate ability to heal, repair, recover, rejuvenate. But we just need to treat our body like a temple. We need to respect it. We need to honor it. We do all the right things. And then we get back joy and love, peace.
Donna,
yourself. Have
yes, yes, thank you.
So powerful. All of us have this inner power, this inner ability. We just need to trust in ourselves, trust in our creator, trust in nature.
Thank you for that, Michelle. Donna Starr, oh, how lovely to have you on our show today. I hope you've also enjoyed it.
I have loved every minute. And again, I don't believe in any coincidences. So I would love to follow up with both of you. But I loved every minute. What a joy.
Is there anything else about yourself or your company that we didn't get to touch on that you'd love to share?
I don't know that I have anything more to share other than I really do believe that we can choose to have the life we want. And I don't think it's just words. And the reason that I believe that I'm good at what I do is because I changed my life completely at 56. And so I know that and I'm 61. I know I'm older than both of you, but.
And she looks so young. Now we don't like her as much, Michelle. I'm just kidding.
But I really believe it because I've done the work and I continue to do the work. So for anybody who's listening who's like, oh, it's just too much work, it's never too late to start.
No, I love that. I love that. Thank you. Well, if you're out there thinking, wait, I've written a book, I can inspire someone's personal life or help them grow their business, well, then you should be on our show. And I think so too. So reach out to our team and we will get you booked on the show. Now, I put them on the spot an extra time before I came to this round, but we won't let them go without a final thought, a piece of inspiration or information as we close our show today. So Michelle, one more time, what's the final thought and inspiration you have for us?
Believe in yourself. Believe you can get better from whatever it is that you're struggling or suffering with, because you do have that inner power to be able to do that.
I love that. Believe in yourself. You're in England, and there's a famous little poem saying, and I wish I had it memorized, that I used to read to my kids from Winnie the Pooh. And it goes something along the lines of you're smarter than you know, stronger than you believe. I'm paraphrasing, but it's a very sweet and cute. If you find it out there, throw it in the comments for us. But it's a good one. You know what I'm talking about, right, Michelle?
Well, yeah, I do. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Donna, you're up. A final thought, a piece of information.
On my website. So I'm going to say this one because I obviously believe in trust or intuition, but the pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity and the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And I think, and that just, I think supports, I think I said that right, that we have choices, how we want to show up in the world.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Well, all right, everyone. This has been one fantastic show. And if you think so as much as me, hit a share button so one of your friends or someone you don't know could be inspired and get a chance to hear from these beautiful ladies as we've shared a bit of our journey and our stories with you today. I am your host, Jessica Koch. It is my gift and my gratitude to be the host of Profound Professionals. And until next time, please be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.